That's why they worked even harder to find a way to silence me. What happens when you're the greatest at the beginning? Nobody wants you to open up for them because you're going to make them look inferior. And you have to be able to headline every show.
Jaguar Wright has made waves in the media by alleging that Oprah Winfrey was involved in a sickening plan related to Sean Diddy Combs following his recent legal troubles and arrests. In her accusations, Wright suggests that O has played a role in covering up or facilitating some of the controversial activities attributed to Diddy over the years.
Those doors do not open. That's how it works. Someone like me is a great danger, huge danger, because not only am I outspoken, and not only do I still have the stamina to go at this thing at the rate that I go at it, pushing 50. They're pissed because I won't break. That encourages people to do what? Keep trying.
Jaguar Wright is known for her fiercely outspoken personality, particularly when it comes to exposing what she sees as the darker exploitative side of the entertainment industry.
How are these people able to keep going on with the career?
What do you mean?
Doing these heinous crimes.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm just saying.
You ain't never had a boy that you know did a whole bunch of dirt and you let him make it? You telling me that never happened? You never had somebody in your life who you know was dirty, who you know did dirt, and you let them make it?
I see what you're saying, but
think about that on a corporate level.
Right.
R. Kelly was the first corporately sponsored pedophile in the United States. Everybody knew. That's why I couldn't really watch that documentary, because half of the people that was in there, I can't believe he did it. You used to go get the bitch too. I watched you, dog.
Barai's boldness is not just limited to naming names. She dives deep into what she perceives as systemic exploitation, particularly of women in the industry.
All of this gay agenda has to stop. To be homosexual is one thing. To be a gay person is fine. But to use it to manipulate and brainwash society for the purpose of population control, or class control, caste system domination. That's not what, that shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
Isn't that just being inclusive? Like, hey, we're trying to include everybody into our agenda.
No, it's not being inclusive. What it is just being covertly domineering.
Her fearlessness in speaking against giants of the industry, even at the risk of her own reputation, underscores her determination to shine a light on what she believes are significant injustices.
What did you know that was going on in the world of Diddy?
He's a sex fucker. He's got guns and he's got semen-coated fucking VHS tapes.
Is that something normal that happens in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Freak-offs.
Yeah. Everybody know that. I've been saying it.
So do you feel like people, when they hear pink cocaine, Young Miami has to bring across?
Now, gay men have been using this for years. See, back in the day, if you went to a gay party or a gay rave, there were certain drugs that you would always find on hand. Viagra, ecstasy, Special K, and cocaine. Now see, the cocaine keep you up all night, but unfortunately, it gives you limp noodle. So that's why you have the Viagra. Now see, the ketamine, that's a horse tranquilizer, so that relaxes all your muscles. You wouldn't feel a thing.
Dre Umar has raised concerns about Oprah Winfrey's overwhelming influence in Hollywood, suggesting that no one wants to be on the wrong side of her due to her vast power. How do you think Oprah's power impacts celebrities' willingness to speak out against her?
A lot of his guests are canceling their interviews because they don't want to get blacklisted by Oprah. Who wants to be on the wrong side of Oprah in Hollywood? Who wants to be on the wrong side of Tyler Perry in Hollywood? Who wants to be on the wrong side of Steve Harvey in Hollywood? And as a result of that,
Hollywood has long been associated with the dark underbelly of scandals, misconduct, and exploitation. And these allegations often involve huge names.
Named Kevin Brown and Andre Brown and he was later on 30 Rock, but they would come to us and they would tell us about vanity and losing your mind in Hollywood and be careful. And they came back from Hollywood to try and expand us. And they sat us down and they're like, you ain't gonna believe what we saw. And like, what'd you see? And they said, we saw so-and-so, huge name, so-and-so, huge name, and so-and-so, big name back in the day, chicken hawking at a party. And I went, what? See, you're white. I said, what's chicken hawking? Everyone he's white. He don't know chicken hawking. I said, what's chicken hawking? That's when you hanging out with boys that are transvestites. I went, what?
Diddy's recent arrest stems from explosive allegations brought by his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, who accused him of physical mistreatment.
Well, it's about time. Diddy was just arrested. So according to TMZ, Diddy was arrested and taken to federal custody in New York Monday night. Sources tell the outlet Homeland Security swooped into a Midtown hotel late Monday where Diddy was staying and they arrested him. I literally just saw footage of Diddy taking photos with fans with his children in Harlem. They said, we have unconfirmed reports that feds are searching his hotel room. TMZ continues that they're told that Diddy was taken to the FBI field office in Manhattan. It appears the action was taken in connection with the ongoing criminal investigation in the alleged sex trafficking and other offenses that led to search warrants of his New York home, LA home, and Miami home. According to Diddy's attorney, he tells TMZ, we're disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist.
Cass's friend provided key evidence in the case corroborating her claims and leading to Diddy's arrest after a video of his mistreatment surfaced. Cass's bravery in coming forward could mark a pivotal moment in how Hollywood addresses abusive behavior. He's
standing in the living room area and she's there and he was like, emotional singing, there you are. And I just was like, oh, he's talking to me. And I remember I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside. And I remember looking in his eyes and I said to him, what did y'all do? Because I could see that she was really sedated. That was the first time I ever seen her high before. And then he says, tell your girl she wants some birthday. And we were like, well, I mean, he's saying this to me and I'm like, well, she doesn't have to have sex with you if she doesn't want to. He was upset. I guess that she didn't want to do with him whatever he wanted. I don't know. I don't feel like I could advocate for myself in that moment. I realized oh, this guy is dangerous.
Robert Redford has been vocal about Hollywood's systemic issues, arguing that revealing the truth about its dark side is becoming harder than ever.
I'll tell you that, it's not easy. The threats are enormous and because success breeds a lot of attention. And some of the attention is good, obviously you want it, and some of the attention is not good, it's inflated. And if you buy into that, then I think it begins a downward slide. So I guess the way to keep your balance is to not be, I don't live in Hollywood, I live away. I try to keep a separate life that is more real on a daily basis. Otherwise, if I gave myself completely over to show business, I think I'd be lost.
Yes. Do you think that we always need to have the truth?
Yes. I think it's essential. We have to have the truth, and that getting to the truth is harder and harder in society today because of all the assault on our senses with media and technology. It's hitting us from so many angles. It's telling us so many stories at the same time. It's hard for the public to really understand where's the truth, but I think the truth is essential. And I've always felt that the best way to get to the truth was through journalism. That's why I'm a big fan of journalism.
Oprah Winfrey faced allegations of mistreating celebrities for decades.
One of the biggest reasons we need to talk talk about Oprah Winfrey again was because of her friendship with John of God, the spiritual healer who believed he could channel the spirits of doctors and saints. And he would perform surgeries on people with his bare hands and scissors. Not to mention, John of God also literally essayed hundreds of different young girls and women, ranging from the ages of 9 to 67. And some of his victims included his own daughter and her daughter, his granddaughter. And he was also running a ring, selling newborns to childless couples for $50,000, all while being a...
Monique alleged that Oprah snitched on her, effectively sabotaging her career.
She said, if you don't want me to have your brother on the show, I will cancel the show. No show will happen. But I wanted to call you up to see how you felt first. When I hung up that phone, brother, I looked at my husband and I said, that bitch is all right with me. That's a real...
She kept it
because she didn't have to call me up. She didn't have to say my brother was coming. She could have just ran with shit and let it happen. I dig her for that. Now I begin to see commercials with my brother, my mother, my father, and my other brother. I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do, and stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments, what you call, oh, I don't even deal with things like that, because what people are beginning to do is see you for who you are. That's what she said to me. She says, oh, I say that to everybody. Well, then what does that make you? Everybody reminds you of you? Or do you just say things in the moment? So when I say to our community, I know Oprah Winfrey when the curtains are closed. I know her when the cameras aren't running. That's why Oprah Winfrey does not want to sit down publicly with me nor my husband to have a conversation, because within minutes, the community would know who Oprah Winfrey really was. Because what she's not used to is anybody asking her any questions. I'm the deliverer. I'm the author. I'm the authority of all life and all beings. And I know it all.
Oprah conducted an infamous interview with the alleged victims of Michael Jackson. Many viewed this as an attempt to further tarnish Jackson's reputation.
No, but in that statement, the reason why I made that, and it, like, people, like, you can read into it however you want to make. I made that to really more to poke at the media, because the fact that I'm saying we don't keep the same energy. I still ain't seen I have not seen Harvey Weinstein's mugshot. Every time a rapper or every time a black man gets arrested, where the college ladies' mugshots, the Aunt Becky and them.
Oprah's long-standing association with controversial figures has fueled allegations that she aligns herself with controversial figures to maintain her power base.
I started out giving a week's pay. I remember that. Because when I had my very first job in television, my first boss, Harold Crump, called us up and gave us a week's pay for Christmas. And so I did that every year after I had my own
25
2
years.
months is a lot.
So we have a lot to talk to you about, Oprah. We're going to start with, because you've been making news lately about the documentary.
I try not to make news.
I know, because you decided to take your name off the documentary involving Russell Simmons and his alleged abuse of women. And I think people question, why would Oprah, of all people, do that?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that I have lived Me Too since I was 9 years old and was raped at 9, sexually assaulted from 9 to 14, and then raped again at 14. And nothing is harder than standing up for yourself when you're 14 and not being believed. And I was not believed by my own family.
Joe Rogan has also delved into the darker side of Oprah's influence, revealing how she has the power to cancel people and control narratives in Hollywood. Jay recently expressed his disapproval of Diddy's actions during an appearance on the Hoy Mandel podcast. He openly declared that he no longer wishes to associate with Diddy due to the disturbing allegations of mistreating, especially those involving Cassie.
And if I did see something like that, I would have definitely went to her defense on that. That's despicable.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of men might have been in those situations. I think anybody that's done that to a woman has no right to even say it's despicable now. Like, so if you're a guy and you've done some shit like that, just be quiet and, like, get your life together and go away. And you know what I'm saying? From the world that we're in. I don't think you're invited anymore to any like space and time in this space. Find God, you know, but that's fucking unexcusable and unacceptable.
Candace Owens has been vocal about what she perceives as a media cover-up regarding Diddy's alleged crimes.
And there always has been one, and it's also pretty obvious that the mainstream media is basically just falling over themselves to hide that glaring obvious fact, because they are part and parcel of that gang, hence the reason they are oddly quiet or protective when it comes to the Diddy case. Referring, of course, to Sean Combs, known once as Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. I don't know what year you grew up in. He changes his name very often. But he is facing new sex trafficking allegations in a lawsuit that was filed by a former porn star. Now, I want to recap this because I was hot on this case before I got taken off air. And sometimes I wonder, the media just sort of totally flipped on me until they wanted to turn me into a bad guy, if it's partially due to me having covered this case in a way that most mainstream media members refuse to. So let's quickly recap. We had last year Cassie Ventura, who dated Diddy for over 10 years, come forward with allegations that he had committed rape when he got mad at her, battery, that he had forced her into sex acts with male sex workers. But she also alleged that he was a gangster, that he had once bombed the car of fellow rapper Kid Cudi when he got mad because Kid Cudi and Cassie were dating when her and Diddy were on a break. So he did this in an effort to intimidate him. Now, to be clear, Kid Cudi came out and told the New York Times in a statement that that allegation was true. Cassie also alleged that Diddy had once dangled a friend over a 17th floor balcony, another intimidation tactic, and that he had asked her to carry his gun in her purse. So yeah, she's saying, I dated this man, he is a thug, he is a gangster, and immediately Diddy came out and completely denied this. He tried to kind of get this filed under Me Too. Oh, I would never do this. Well, an update, I was off air when this happened. I know that you guys have probably seen the video. I'm not going to show it because it's so horrific, but a video of Diddy absolutely pummeling Cassie came out.
Following Diddy's arrest, speculation has emerged that Oprah might be feeling vulnerable due to her potential connection with him.
Oprah Winfrey has been implicated in the Diddy case by federal authorities due to her alleged involvement in human trafficking. In a desperate attempt to evade justice, Oprah reportedly tried to OD. Gayle King, her close confidant, posted an update revealing that Oprah is currently in the hospital, suggesting she is trying to avoid facing the serious charges against her. Meanwhile, Oprah's public relations team is in overdrive, attributing her hospitalization to complications from the weight loss drug Ozempic. Additionally, reports have surfaced that Oprah was allegedly involved in harvesting children in Hawaii for their anti-aging properties. Speculation is going that Oprah may emerge from the hospital with a disability, potentially silencing her permanently about the accusations of trafficking children from her African school and exploiting kids in Hawaii for high-profile elites.
Critics have drawn parallels between Oprah and Diddy, suggesting their alleged involvement, and broader conspiracies connects them to public activism. Some believe that the two are part of a coordinated effort to advance certain agendas.